The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You. Well, welcome to this special live edition of The Pulse of Spokane, and I'm here with our Sheriff, Ozzie Knezovich, who had, 14 days ago, back surgery.
I did.
So you're a little stiff and a little hurting, and I don't expect that you're going to be showing us how to do the twist.
I don't think so.
Okay. We can have some fun, but we also have a lot of serious things going on. I don't want to focus so much on the COVID-19 because I think we're headed finally in the right direction. You may not know it, but we've been out doing some live hits from various businesses called a We Are Open campaign, right, with businesses that, quite frankly, many of them said, I don't know if I'll be here in 2 weeks, Kent. And so that's why we went out to start to talk to folks and to encourage everybody to get out and give our local businesses the business, and you know, so they can hire and keep their employees and all of that.
Well, you know, Kent, at the beginning of this, when we first opened the Emergency Operations Center, we had a major meeting, and I said, look, you have two pandemics.
Yes, yes.
You have a medical pandemic, and you will have an economic pandemic. And depending on how we handle this, we could cause more damage.
Yes.
By one. And if you take a look at what has happened to the medical system,
yes,
these smaller outlying hospitals have folded.
Yes. Well, even here in Spokane, look at, they've got empty beds.
We have, so we, you know, the governor's order was designed to prevent, you know, mass surge and everything else, but
we never had that.
Yeah, it got to a point where I was, well, we can continue down this path and implode our medical system.
Yeah.
And if we do have a second rebound, how are we going to take care of people?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, people, for some reason in politics anymore, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And people don't come together and go, no, it's not all or nothing. There are ways around these problems if you really want to use one thing, and that's critical thinking.
Yes.
And a plan out.
Yeah. We actually have a program kicking off on Thursday night called The Critical Thinker. For the Critical Thinker, Mike Fitzsimmons starts his first program.
Great
Thursday.
person to do it.
Yeah.
That man is a smart man.
Yeah, he is. Okay, let's talk about the last few days. Like so many folks, I did not go downtown on Sunday, but we had a great turnout, I thought, with the protesters protesting what was wrong. And I think most of us will stand up and say what happened back east is wrong.
I'll tell you, there's one word, the only word I can find to describe what happened in Minneapolis is inexcusable.
Yeah, yeah.
There's absolutely no justification, no excuse, no anything for that.
Yeah.
And if you ask law enforcement across this nation, we're all going, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And you know,
there's no one more that hate that than police officers and sheriffs and deputies.
Exactly. And,
right.
And it's like, and I realize that, you know, some people aren't ready to engage and listen.
Yeah.
The anger's too raw.
Yeah.
But maybe when the anger subsides, they'll realize that we were 100% behind them on this.
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
And the person who did that needs to pay that ultimate price.
Right.
They need to be prosecuted.
Yes.
They need to and we as law enforcement leaders need to step up and go, that was wrong.
Right. So it started out at noon with Katara and a prayer meeting and others in town, and then around 2 o'clock, I think it was, the protest and so forth. And I loved the scene and the pictures and the video over at the county courthouse area with the police and your deputies and so forth, who found that common ground and exchanged kneeling, exchanged hugs and everything else. That was Spokane.
Yeah.
That really was Spokane. And then something erupted Sunday evening.
That wasn't Spokane.
That wasn't Spokane.
Yeah.
Outside and other agitators. Is it really outsiders?
It is.
Okay.
You know, some people want to divide this immediately into politics when I say this, but it's a harsh reality. Just as the left needs to, they go, look at the right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of bad on the right.
Yeah.
And I've stood against
On both
that.
sides on the fringes.
I've stood against that bad
Yes.
on that right for a long time. And I stand against the bad on the left, too.
Yes.
But the problem is, both the left and right are blind to their own problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's
you
well
know,
said, yes.
And when I say that these were Antifa and socialist, folks, that's not rhetoric and that's not politics. When you have people identify themselves as the Social Rifle Association, and my God, it actually exists, the John Brown Gun Club, joining forces with other local groups that I will name shortly,
Okay.
and Antifa, I'm sorry, Socialist Rifle Club are socialists that are devoted to the destruction of this country through
Right.
the use of weapons. I can't fix that for the left.
Yeah.
Just as the right has the same problem with some of the groups, like the 3%ers who go down to Nevada and point guns at law enforcement officers. Both sides have their warts, and it's
Yes.
time that we
Yes.
start finding a cure for these warts.
Yeah. How early did you know that others were coming from out of town?
We started getting street-level intelligence around Friday that
Something might be up.
something was brewing,
Yeah.
and that street-level intelligence became very hot and heavy throughout Saturday, Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I called the chief and I said, you sure you don't need help? I'm giving you 20 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to need help.
Mm-hmm.
And we started engaging other aspects. I'm not going to tell everybody what the behind-the-scenes secrets are.
No.
But we started putting things
The
in
pieces
place.
together, yeah.
I was really, really encouraged throughout the protest.
Yes.
Watching it, I went and walked the front line, congratulating our guys on the extremely great job they did, and I was also congratulating the protesters on thank you for
Being civil.
being civil.
Yeah.
Some of the rhetoric that they were throwing at the guys, okay.
Yeah.
We're used to that. People don't realize that we get that, when it's just the way it is.
But they get their chance to say it.
They get the chance to say it.
Yeah.
But we became very nervous around 4:30ish. Things, we started to see some splinter groups breaking.
Okay.
And around 5ish, we noticed about a group of 500 that had peeled off and were heading down. And and here's again the left and the right. The left want to claim that the Proud Boys did. There are like 4 Proud Boys in Spokane.
Yeah.
And I have photographs and video of who looted the Nike store. Unless the Proud Boys have changed their membership patterns, they were not them. Okay. I have no use for the Proud Boys. I have no use for the 3%ers.
Yeah.
When the 3%ers came downtown, and because everybody wants to make this big deal about there were armed militia, they were not militia.
Yeah.
Let's make that clear. They were 3%ers, because the militia won't even deal with them. When they were contacted by police, they left.
Yeah.
When this other group was contacted by police multiple times and asked to leave, they didn't.
Yeah.
They vandalized, and we knew we were heading for rough water around 6 when they hit the federal building.
Yeah.
And from then on, the rest of my evening, I was making rapid phone calls and getting assets from across the state of Washington.
Right. Right.
We had one of the fastest activations of the National Guard I've ever seen, Kent.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, and some people out there, well, you should have had them already. They don't come pre-staged, folks. They won't do that.
Okay.
You actually have to have a problem before because it's very expensive to activate
I can imagine
those assets. But we started hitting that button about 7:30. By 11:30, they were mustering. By, I believe it was like 1 o'clock, they were in place.
Wow.
So I take a lot of gratitude goes to Adam McDaniels. He's governor's representative here locally.
Okay.
I called Commissioner French and said, Al, I need you to work the political end while I push from the EOC end.
Right, right.
And I said, I need you to get a hold of Adam McDaniels and get a hold of the governor. I called Craig, Chief Meidel, and I said, Craig, I need you to get the mayor on the line, pushing, from the top. I'll push from the bottom and put the pressure through. I am very proud of our National Guardsmen, and I have a lot of gratitude to Adam because he worked really hard. And Representative Riccelli was on the phone, texted me immediately, what do you need? And I said, I need the Guard. Right. And Marcus was out there and he helped out. Yeah. So, but that's what teamwork is supposed to be about. Yeah. And I think we forget that. There was a time, Kent, that I wish we could actually go back to. When I first became sheriff, I could work across the line with almost anybody. Yeah. I could work with Brian Biggs. Right. At one time, he and I had a fairly good relationship. Right. But 2016 changed a lot of things. Yes. And that's sad because, we are not accomplishing the things we should be for the people of this community. No. Because we hate each other. And I don't, Sheriff, that's a harsh word. No. That is literally what it is anymore. And that is doing nobody any good. And I get tired of the same.
Most of all, not we citizens.
No, you're caught in the middle of this.
Yeah,
and it's like during a press conference yesterday, I made this statement that we have this 10% on both sides that really the 80% of us in the middle need to start pushing out. We need to get rid of this. We the middle need to start going, okay, and how do you do that? Well, here's where the politics come in. Yeah, you need to vote in the primary.
Right, that's true.
Because that's where the extremes win.
Right.
This,
and then they go on.
Then they go on and mess everything up. You want to fix this problem? You elect good people, good solid people with character in the primaries, and we take things back. We get the statesmen back. Tom Foley. Yeah. Now, he was a Democrat.
Yes.
But I respected that man.
Yeah. I even voted for him a couple of times.
Okay.
And he was great on the air with me back in those days on the radio.
So, we need to get back to that character of
Trump's
somebody.
Fault. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't want to go there, but that's what galvanizes.
It was that one single election. Yeah. And it's so sad that we did that because of one person. Yeah. Yeah. One person is not a reflection of everybody.
No. I got to ask you. Okay. There was the use of tear gas and rubber bullets.
Yep.
How do you keep your officers and your team from using real bullets? Because I'm not sure I would have been that disciplined, to be honest with you.
Well, we have laws. There's this thing called the Constitution. Yeah.
But if they're coming after you with a Molotov cocktail or something,
we do our best to avoid getting hit with that, but that is a harsh reality for us. Wow. We know that in that situation is one of the most highly dangerous situations there are.
Yeah.
And, everybody wants to make this big deal about armed, quote, unquote, militia down there. There were armed, quote, unquote, Antifa down there.
Yeah.
So those are highly, highly deadly situations.
Yeah.
I'll take it back to 7/7/2016.
Okay. Yes.
There was a protest,
Yes.
and somebody came with a gun and killed 5 Dallas police officers.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay?
Hmm.
So,
And there were certain people in the country who just couldn't find a way to say much about that.
no. And,
I'm talking about the president and others. Yes.
leadership has failed this country at the top for a very long time
Yeah.
now.
They haven't failed themselves, though. A lot of them
No.
are making good money.
They're making.
Yeah.
They always make bank once they get the speaking tours and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I guess that's just the way it is. But leadership failed,
Yeah.
and it's failed across the board. I'm going to announce something.
Okay.
You're breaking news for
Okay.
you. You get it.
All right.
I have written a book. It's taken me several years.
I knew you were writing.
Yep. It's in graphics right now.
Okay.
Had COVID not hit us, it would already been out.
Okay.
But COVID kind of, my graphic artist,
Yeah. Things happened. I know.
He lost his job.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's working to get everything put together, and people want to talk about change and everything else. Kent, in 2012, 39 sheriffs in the state of Washington went to the state legislature and asked them to do something for us.
Mm-hmm.
We asked them to change a law
Mm-hmm.
that said that if a police officer or a deputy lies
Mm-hmm.
or commits a crime on duty and we fire them and the arbitrator comes and says, yes, Sheriff, you proved your point, you conducted the investigation correctly, you followed all the labor laws, I find that you have done that and you have proven this happened, that arbitrator cannot give that bad actor their jobs back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many people supported us here locally out of the 15 representatives for this House and Senate that affect this county? How many supported us?
Yeah.
5.
5.
Former Representative Kevin Parker, former Representative Fagan, former Senator Baumgardner, current treasurer, Joel Kretz, and Senator Mike Patton. They were the only ones.
It seems like such common sense.
Now
We've gone away from common sense.
Yeah, but you want to change?
Yeah.
Well, if we have somebody we identify that shouldn't be wearing a badge,
Yeah.
then dang it, they shouldn't be wearing a badge, and we should be able to. Everybody wants to say, well, they're never held accountable. Well, they're not held accountable because you won't give us the ability to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And the problem is, please don't tell that to me, because I think it's 80 now people that have worked for the sheriff's office in the last 14, almost 15 years that don't have jobs because they didn't do it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, but then they go up in arms when something like this happens. They want to talk about, they need more training and everything else.
Yeah.
And then after it calms down, they pass laws like this.
Yeah.
They pass laws that tell us that we can't terminate somebody if they become a Brady officer. Now, to become a Brady officer, you have to have lied, or you have had to have done something really bad to be labeled a Brady officer, which means that you have a hard time testifying in court.
Yes.
But the legislature just did that to us. Now, they're the first ones to tell you that we need more training.
Yeah.
No, we need people,
Well, it's all about
the
spending more
ability to
money.
hold people accountable.
Yes. Yes. In all kinds of jobs. Too.
Every job.
Yeah.
But I will tell you.
Tell me about your book.
It's only 99% of this profession
Right.
does it right.
Right. When is your book coming out?
If I can get it out of graphics, We hope to have it by, I'm thinking about releasing it on July 4th.
Okay, Independence Day.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're going to talk about that too when we get close to it, right?
Sounds good.
Okay. And next week, what happens? You start back on the sheriff's report.
I do.
9 o'clock on Tuesday mornings.
9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. We're
Yeah.
going to get back in swing. You know, COVID.
Yeah, kind of threw things off.
I was having meetings every day, 8 o'clock, discussing the planning and everything. And you know, maybe I'll have you and you can play the antagonist on one of the shows and ask me about some of the things that we'll pull out of the newspaper articles that have been written about that, because
Yeah.
I think there's some things that need to be set straight.
Well, I want us to talk about what the press release that came out the other day about, for Brian Biggs, talking about, we need to have more justice and this and that, and yet he's part of the group that wants to let everybody out. Let's not slap anyone's hands and that sort of. I mean, totally, I'm guessing, really opposite of who he represents on the South Hill, including me.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, that's just.
Again, at one point, I don't, and like I said, 2016 changed a lot of things, but Kent, there have been a lot of people died in the Spokane County Jail.
Yeah.
And my question is how many of those people have been alive today had we fixed the problems that we knew we had in that jail, which part of that is a structural aspect of the jail.
Yeah.
And that weighs heavy on me. Even though I don't run the jail, haven't run the jail since 2013, that still weighs very
Sure.
heavy on me. I feel every one of those losses, and I take them very, very deeply personal, because my job, I didn't get into this job to take human life. I got into this job to preserve human
Protect
life.
people. Yes.
And I feel like I have failed them in this community in doing that, and I blame Brian for that.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Brian has a responsibility for some of those deaths.
Yeah. Well, we need to spend some time on it, because there needs to be consequences for wrong actions. All of us face that,
Yes.
Okay. Ozzie, thank you for being here. Are we allowed
Thank
to
you.
shake hands?
We are.
Okay.
You just have to wash afterwards.
I know, especially I'll have to spend extra time, won't I? Yeah. Ozzie Knezovich, our sheriff, and we look forward to having you back on the Sheriff's Report next Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Hey, thanks for watching the Pulse of Spokane. Have a good day, everybody.
As a community, you've always risen to the occasion. And at Wendell Motors, we want to help you continue that in whatever way we can. We're here to lend you a hand with 0% financing for 84 months and no payments for 90 days on 2020 and 2019 Fords. Unheard of financing on the F-150, Edge, Explorer, Ranger, and more. Our trained staff is following all CDC guidelines. We will deliver the vehicle to you and make the process as seamless as possible. Call us today or visit us online at wendell.com.
Hi, this is Tim Lane with State Farm with your quick winter tip. During the freezing months of winter, protect yourself from an unwanted liability lawsuit. Shovel and de-ice your sidewalks, walkway, and stairs up to your house. Not only is it going to protect and be safe for you and your family, but also visitors and mail and package carriers alike. If guests were to slip and fall on your property, you would be legally liable for their injuries. If you have any coverage questions or would like a second opinion on your insurance, call my team and I at Tim Lane's.
National Barricade and Sign Company is a well-established company founded in 1957. National Barricade has become a well-known business in the Spokane Valley for more than 50 years. Over the years, we have built long-lasting relationships with many cities, counties, and their departments of transportation. Customers come to us because they know they are going to get the best quality service at the best possible price. National Barricade prides itself on getting the job done in a timely manner. We know that contractors must have certain items in a timely fashion to get their job done, and if we don't have it, we will get it. We guarantee fast service no matter how long it takes.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.